It's been about close to 3 months now since I bought this Pajero. Um, as you maybe have seen one of my first videos, I bought this from a seller based in Miri in Sarawak, which is a Bornean state in Malaysia. Really wanted this Pajero as a kid, and so far I'm really happy with what I have, because it's like a dream come true as a kid and owning this Pajero, right? So I've made a couple of upgrades, fixes, more on the fixes, because when I got this vehicle, it's in such a way it's quite in a bad shape. In general, there were a lot of things to be repaired, and it was probably neglected, and it was not even properly repaired. And some of the parts that they used to repair it was subpar standards. So it took a lot of effort, and my nephew Almer has been helping me with this journey of restoring this vehicle. And hopefully, when the job is done, maybe another 6 to 12 months down the road, hopefully that I would have probably the most good looking, or maybe not good looking, maybe the most original condition Mitsubishi Pajero V46 right here in Malaysia. So I'm based in Kuala Lumpur, but my origin is actually Sabah, in one of the territories in Malaysia, and I've lived here since I was a kid. I was born here, but I'm actually based right in Kuala Lumpur, where I run my marketing agency. So today I'm just going to give you some updates on the work that have been done over the last few weeks. My last real update, was back in December. That was giving you guys some progress of the repairs that have been done, and we've made more, did a little bit more work over the last few weeks, and here are some of them. So this is the Pajero that I have. One of the immediate thing that you would notice is now I have installed this original Mitsubishi Pajero kangaroo bar, they call it, or bull bar, whatever you might want to call it. So this is the original bull bar that comes with the Mitsubishi Pajero and was released in Japan. So it's really nice. As you can see, it has this plastic part here, even with the spotlights. But even with the spotlight, it's a little bit rusty. This is more than 30 years old, I guess. So we got this from a used Pajero. Also, it's basically a scrap Pajero that was sold to somebody, and apparently the vehicle was not being they probably didn't have any plan to restore it. So it had this kangaroo bar, or this bull bar, so decided to use this and fitted this on my Pajero. But in general, I don't think it's perfect. Even the paintwork, it's already faded, so there'll be a lot of painting work that needs to be done eventually. But it does give some good looks and more handsome look to this Pajero, if you can see. So if you notice from the first video, there has been some changes, especially the wheels, and some of we've also installed the tint. I've also replaced the better quality wiper blades. Of course, this needs a bit of work. It's already rusty there. This was replaced as soon as I got the vehicle. And last night, what we did was we installed this air press. This air press, it's because the old one was already cracking on this part. It doesn't look nice anymore. But of course, this is not a super long-term solution, because, as you know, I still have plans to do the paint work. That's going to be probably one of the last things that I would do. I would focus more on the mechanical side first, at least for now. Try to get things fixed as much as possible. Like, you know, there's a lot of issues like this. Yeah, the rubber is already hardened. But as you can see, in general, the vehicle is not too bad, right? It's not too bad in general. So also fitted this tire cover. I got this replaced as well. This one was missing earlier. We've already got the tint. Replaced the whole wiper blade and this wiper arm. So there's been some work. See, there's some rusty hinge. But overall, it's much better. Last month, we spent a bit of money to fix the suspension system. That was quite beaten up as well. Especially as you know, the suspension is a very critical component of the vehicle, right? So you have to make sure that you always maintain the integrity of the suspension system. Make sure that the shock absorbers are in good condition, the bushing and everything, because it does give a lot of impact on the drivability, the comfort, and basically the overall well-being of this vehicle. So externally, that's what has been done. It does not. It's not that significant if you look at from physically, and of course the paintwork is really bad. And as I said, that's going to be one of the last things that I'm going to do once we have sorted out all the hardware and everything and the mechanical parts. So one thing that we also did was, let me just open this, not this one, actually the fuel the fuel lid. So this is the fuel lid. Initially this was broken. This was broken initially. Managed to get a replacement part for this from China. Not the best, but at least it does give that functionality to be able to open the fuel lid without actually using the key anymore. Right, so that's good. That's and this has been replaced. All of this has been replaced also. Also this weather strip here has also been replaced. Right, this weather strip. So it's much nicer now. And this air press actually looks quite good already, but it can be better. I mean, the original air press from Japan, the quality is much better actually, but this is already a good compromise compared to the initial one where it was cracking, and I guess it does give some better look to the vehicle so far. This one has been replaced too. The antenna doesn't function. This is the blind spot. It's not blind spot mirror. Is it blind spot mirror? No, this parking mirror they call it. Even the mirror is not so as good anymore. So maybe try to find a replacement for this. Fitted a wheel cap already. The tires have been changed. This has been replaced as well. Took this from another scrap Pajero, Japanese V46 2.5 turbo diesel version. I actually posted a video of that when we went to a village somewhere here in Kota Kinabalu and found that vehicle. It was at night, So we had to bring our tools and just to get this one here. So this is actually original from Japan. So for as much as possible, I try to use Japanese parts because it would reflect the originality of this vehicle. But of course, it's not always possible to do that. So when that's not possible, then we just have to source parts from either from China locally or from other parts of the world. And if you notice, this also it was heavily faded last time. This part here was exposed to sun, so it was really bad. And we were able to find another vehicle from a scrap vehicle, so we took that part and got it replaced. So it's much better now. Let's see if that fit. Stopper. Is that how it works? Hopefully. And I like this fancy tool, so we were able to get this from China. It's not that expensive, but this is one of the most interesting utility tool. I shot a video of it, so maybe you can watch it after this. I created a video of this, of how interesting this tool is. You know, imagine in those days, say for example, you need to fix your vehicle. Maybe you're somewhere right inside somewhere dark. So you can actually use this, and there's a cable that you can plug into this one, and it will actually give you lighting. And one of the best things with this tool is it has a magnet at the back, so you're able to stick this anywhere on the vehicle, and you can change the angle. And say for example, if you have a flat tire, you just want to get this fixed, right? So what you'll do is you're gonna pull the cable, plug the cable, and it will give you lighting. So it's very interesting utility. You know, imagine back in the 90s, this was like a novelty more than anything else, but it serves its purpose. So it's so interesting. I like this actually. It's a very interesting tool. So that goes there. So you just have to make sure that it is secured. So that was replaced. This was also safe. It's still quite beaten up, the colors and everything. It needs a good vacuum. It's a bit dirty, this vehicle. So this was replaced as well. This panel here. Of course, the old one is not as nice, but I think it's not too bad. Although the color doesn't fully match with the original one, but as you know, this is already faded anyway, right? So this is faded. Okay. So that's from the back. I also ordered the full back panel for this. Full back panel. Just waiting for it to arrive. It does take a bit of time. It's more than 1 month now, because it cannot be shipped through air shipping. It has to be shipped through sea shipping, so it does take a bit of time. So I'm gonna get this replaced. I'm gonna check how it looks like, and hopefully it would fit nicely. And I think this is also already replaced. This has been replaced. This is, this buffer and everything, this rubber has been replaced as well. I believe this is also replaced. So we try to make this as secure and nice as much as possible. Okay, so if we go from the inside, so there's a bit of junk, not junk, they're actually parts that were replaced yesterday. So yesterday we went to a workshop and got this gearbox mounting replaced. I presume that this has never been replaced since the beginning, or from the start. Right, so that was already replaced. This one, yeah, this one also. Oh no, this one I already ordered this one, but it's just that maybe this needs to be, this doesn't fit actually. This is actually for left hand side. It's Chinese version, so it doesn't fit for this vehicle. It's not able to fully control everything. So in the end, had to use took another one from a scrap vehicle and managed to get that replaced. But probably what needs to be done is we try to get this nice control to be ported over on that side. I believe this was also replaced because the initial one was cracked. This side has a crack, so I got this replaced. And what else? This one here. This one was also replaced, I think. If I'm not mistaken, it's replaced. So this has been a lot of work done so far on this vehicle, especially on the internal side. This was previously broken already. This was broken before. There was cracked, so we was able to find this quite easily online. Yeah. But for your information, this is no longer the original seat cover, because the original one was leather. It was much nicer, and I guess it couldn't withstand the hot weather and was not well maintained. And got that fixed too. This was also fixed. Otherwise you would see the faded brownish color of this. Right. So overall, this is now working. In my previous videos, especially the first video, I mentioned that the sunroof it's not working, so we were able to get replacement parts from in Malaysia. There's a shop which they call half cut. It's basically they cut the vehicles from Japan, and what they do is they bring that half cut vehicles and sell them as parts. And I was able to source this roof of a Pajero. They basically took the whole roof off and sold them as parts. So I was able to get the parts for this sunroof, and I got the cable replaced. So Almer did a lot of work for that. I know it's really a lot of work. When I saw that, when he took the time to dismantle everything, yeah, it was a lot of work. So now it's functioning. As far as I know, it's functioning. The rubber has been replaced. The rubber is one of the things that would normally go away first, because as you know, it's hot here in Malaysia, and the rubber has been replaced. And he basically also checked the drain. So if you don't know, the Pajero, the sunroof has drains that's supposed to drain the water. There are like 4 different drains, if I'm not mistaken, that drains the water from the roof to make sure that it doesn't get flooded, especially around these areas, right? So I think that was already fixed. And I also got this from the UK. The previous one, this panel here, was brownish and it doesn't look nice overall if you look at it. So I was able to get this from eBay, if I'm not mistaken, eBay in the UK. So in the UK, as you know, they are sold as Shogun. I got that and it was shipped, and we got this replaced. So now if you look at this looks quite new. And this one was also replaced. This was from a Mitsubishi Lancer. So they have a similar same lighting that was used, so that looks pretty good now. And of course, not to mention like this one here, there's missing parts, these things. This one was also has been replaced. So one of the small things, right? Not sure about this. I think this, yeah, I got the parts for this. Oh, I forgot to mention. We also replaced the rubber seals. The rubber seals. If you notice, these rubber seals have been replaced, right? As you can imagine, like rubber seals like this for over 30 years. For over 30 years, they would probably it lost its elasticity. So this has been replaced. So now, if you close the door, it feels much nicer in some ways. See, you can hear the sound like the tube sound, right? So not just a metal. But that's replaced. So this was also replaced, this rubber here. So this is from the Chinese model, Lie Bao. So it's compatible for this Pajero. So this is still not nice, right? If I can get the space. And this one here, this is fully functional. This is fully functional now. This power windows, but as you can see, this is not nice. You know, the lettering and everything. See, sounds much nicer now. Tube. Toyokoki. So if you don't already know, Toyokoki is the company that was responsible to build the Pajero back then, back in the 90s, especially for the Japanese domestic model. They are the company dedicated to build them. Oh, Almer also replaced the keys and everything, so far it works well. Now you can actually control the central locking system is fully functional. Previously it wasn't. And this, of course, this was updated in my previous videos. This has been replaced. The clock was previously, the buttons were not functioning, and now it's fully functional. It can be used now. And of course, the other things, there's still some noise coming from the dashboard. A bit minor, but that needs to be fixed, I feel. So yesterday when I went to this workshop, they were quite shocked that how nice is the interior of this. They felt that it still looks pretty nice for its age, but of course we have not fully done any deep cleaning just yet. But I can imagine once you do all the deep cleaning and everything, I think it would probably looks much nicer. I think this got painted. One of the proudest moments, or one of the things that I've done, we've done, is to buy a used steering wheel from Japan. So it was out of the blue. I was on this Japanese flea market, online flea market, and I was able to find this nice looking steering wheel. This is still in a mint condition. If you look at this, it's leather and still in mint condition. Because most of the steering wheels that, if you see the ones here in Malaysia, you know, they get exposed to hot weather and everything. They tend to crack around this area because you know, as a driver sitting on this side, then you get a lot of exposure from the sun on this, right? So a lot of them, if you look at used Pajeros, they're basically broken and cracking, and it doesn't look really nice anymore. And he also fixed, Almer also fixed this side, the steering column. So we managed to get a scrap Pajero the steering column, and that got replaced, and it feels much nicer, I think, after the replacement has been done. So overall, if you look, of course it is much nicer compared to many months ago, or 2 months or 3 months ago when I first got this vehicle. And one of the biggest problems that I still have is, of course, this side here. You can see the windscreen. This is a multi-layer windscreen. So this was exposed to the cooling system, the air conditioner. So what happened was, this gets cool and everything gets cool and gets hot, and it became something like this. So it actually, there's no way to fix this windscreen anymore unless if you get the whole windscreen replaced. So it has something to do with the ventilation system, where there's cold air coming up from this one. So at night, this gets cold, really cold, and then it expands, contracts, and causing that problem. So what I'm trying to do is try to find ways to, at least probably for now, is to block this airway using a soft material or something. So yeah, so overall it's much nicer to drive this. And let me just start this vehicle. I always like the sound of the Pajero being started. There you go, one kickstart. I also fitted this phone holder. I don't like anything complicated, right? So I just use this simple one. I was able to get these seat belts. The previous one was really in a bad shape. So this was from a Chinese Pajero. Let's just say it as a Chinese Pajero, right? So managed to get this one, so it's much nicer now. The same thing on this side. Right? Previously, it was already worn out. You can show it from my first video when I just got this vehicle. And now it's much nicer internally, in most parts. I also ordered the original stereo of the Pajero. This is not the original, right? So I got it cheap. It's like 1,100 yen. Sorry, 1,100 yen from Japan. So it's still on its way, but I'm gonna use it because it blends quite well with the dashboard, with the orange buttons and everything. So to me, it's not to really customize the vehicle, but it's to really restore it to its almost like its original factory condition. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I know I don't know where my content goes to, but I feel there are a lot of Pajero fans out there, and some of you have subscribed to my channel and being part of this journey, and I truly appreciate it. And hopefully this ignites our passion with the Mitsubishi Pajero. I know it's a nostalgic vehicle. A lot of us grew up, our parents bought this car, and we were part of this generation that enjoyed a well-made vehicle when engineering and everything was, I would say there were a lot of focus back then, not just to produce vehicles that can be mass-produced, but there were a lot of passion that was thrown in, especially by the designers and the engineers. Totally different from the vehicles that we have today, right? Because a lot of vehicles today, they are not built to last, but this Pajero has been around for many years now. So for the fact this vehicle itself, it was built in 1993, and it was brought into Malaysia in 1907, just 4 years after it was used in Japan. And you can see the amount of engineering work that was done. And yesterday when I was fixing the replace the gearbox mounting. So I went to this workshop, and that guy was super passionate about vehicles from the 90s as well. So he came from almost the same generation as me, and he did comment a couple of things when this vehicle was hoisted up. And he mentioned about how the rear axle was over engineered. It was huge it was really big, and you can imagine the amount of power that was sent to that rear rear tires, the amount of energy with that size of that with that axle, right? Okay, so yeah, thanks again for watching. I know I tend to speak a lot, but I try to share this with you guys, the stories of documenting this restoration process, and hopefully you get to learn a couple of one or two things. But let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would like me to talk about. And I know some of you asked about which websites did I go to find some of the replacement parts, and I'll try to share that with you soon. And again, thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing, and do like or follow. You can also find me on my other social media sites. I don't talk about Pajero in my other social media accounts. I talk about entrepreneurship, technology, mindset, and those kind of things, and marketing. But specifically for my YouTube, at least for now, I talk about the story of restoring this Mitsubishi Pajero. And let's talk more in the next video. And thank you for following and subscribing. Talk to you again soon. Bye.